Raindrops fall against the school windows. Morning feels heavy today. 12-year-old Skylar Johnson stands still outside the principal's office door. Her old sneakers make noise. Squeak, 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 every step she takes. They laugh at me, she whispers, watching kids through the glass. They copy her squeaky walk. Squeak, squeak, squeak. The shoes are falling apart. The rubber sole is loose. It flaps with each step. Mom bought them last year from the discount store downtown. They were all she could afford. Skylar wears faded jeans, a purple sweater with small holes. Her brown hair is pulled back into a simple ponytail. She carries a worn backpack full of patched notebooks. Skylar Johnson? Principal Martinez calls out. His voice sounds tired, like he's heard this before. She walks into his office. The shoes squeak louder. On the hard floor, her cheeks burn red with embarrassment and shame. Sit down, please. He gestures to a chair. His office smells like coffee, and old books stacked everywhere. The other kids. She starts, then stops mid-sentence. Her voice cracks slightly. I know about the teasing. Principal Martinez adjusts his glasses. But fighting isn't the answer. This morning was different. Tyler Brooks pushed her down, called her squeaky shoes. In front of everyone, she finally fought back, hit him hard. In the shoulder, he started it. Skylar says, her hand shakes slightly. Every single day they laugh. I understand you're upset. The principal leans forward, but violence solves nothing. Outside the office window, a man delivers supplies. He's maybe 35 years old, wearing a simple delivery uniform. His name tag reads Danny. Danny organizes boxes slowly, listening to their conversation. His face shows concern, not curiosity or judgment. My shoes are broken, Skylar admits. Tears start forming slowly. Mom can't buy new ones. Principal Martinez softens his expression. We have a program for students who need. I don't want charity. Skylar cuts him off. Pride flashes in her eyes. We're not poor people, but they are struggling. Dad left 2 years ago. Mom works double shifts at the local diner. They live in Riverside Apartments, the cheapest place in town. 3-day suspension. Principal Martinez decides. Think about better choices. Skylar nods and leaves. The squeaking echoes loudly. Down the empty hallway, Danny the delivery driver watches, her small figure disappearing. That afternoon brings more rain. Skylar sits at home, in their small apartment. Mom won't be back until late tonight. She examines her shoes. The sole is completely loose, held by just threads. And stubborn hope, her phone buzzes once. A text from Jasmine, her only real friend. Are you okay today? Just tired. Skylar texts back. She doesn't mention the fight or suspension. Outside her window, she watches kids playing in the apartment complex. Their shoes look new and silent when walking. A knock interrupts her thoughts. Skylar opens the door. Danny, the delivery driver, stands there, still in his uniform. Hi there, he says gently. I'm Danny from School Deliveries. Am I in trouble? Skylar asks quickly. Her voice sounds worried. No, not at all. Danny smiles warmly. I heard about today. He holds a small box, plain and unmarked. Someone left this for you at school. Skylar takes the box. It feels surprisingly light. Who left it exactly? A visitor, Danny says. He didn't give his name. Inside the box, a pair of sneakers. Brand new and beautiful. They're her exact size. The brand is Soulmate Shoes. Expensive looking and perfect. I can't accept these. Skylar shakes her head. Mom says no gifts. Maybe just try them? Danny suggests carefully. See how they feel. She slips them on. They fit perfectly. Soft and comfortable. No squeaking at all. Just silence when walking. They're amazing, she whispers, running around the apartment. But who would do this? Danny shrugs mysteriously. Good people exist everywhere. The next day, Skylar returns to school, wearing her new shoes. They feel like clouds. Beneath her feet, Tyler Brooks notices immediately. Nice shoes, squeaky. His voice drips sarcasm. Did you steal them? They were a gift, Skylar says quietly. But she feels different, more confident somehow. In math class, Mrs. Rodriguez assigns partners. Skylar gets paired with Brooklyn Chun, the smartest kid in their grade. I like your shoes, Brooklyn says. Soul made his expensive brand. Someone gave them to me. Skylar focuses on problems. I don't know who. Brooklyn studies her closely. That's really nice, though. During lunch break, Skylar sits with Jasmine at their usual table, near the cafeteria windows. You seem happier today, Jasmine observes, unwrapping her sandwich carefully. Something's different about you. Just new shoes, Skylar says, but it's more than just footwear. It's about dignity and feeling normal. Tyler approaches their table with his usual crew, ready to cause trouble. Let me see those. He grabs for her foot. Probably fake shoes anyway. Leave her alone, Brooklyn says, walking up behind Tyler. She's not bothering anyone. Tyler backs down slightly. Brooklyn has influence here. Her father owns the biggest store downtown. Whatever, Tyler mutters. He walks away defeated. For the first time. That evening, Skylar helps Mom with dinner preparations. Mom notices the shoes. Right away, where did these come from? Mom asks seriously. She works at Murphy's Diner, still wearing her uniform. A nice person. Left them at school. Skylar sets the table. Danny brought them over. Mom examines the shoes. These cost more than I make in a week. Should I return them? Skylar asks worried. I don't want trouble. No, honey. Mom sighs deeply. But we need to find out who. Mom's name is Rachel. She's 38 years old, has tired eyes, but a kind heart. She wears simple clothes that smell like diner food. Maybe it's a teacher? Skylar suggests hopefully. Or another parent? Maybe, Mom agrees, but she looks concerned. People don't usually give expensive gifts freely. The next morning, Skylar walks to school. Her steps are silent and confident now. She arrives early to avoid the crowds. The school feels peaceful before chaos begins. In the hallway, she sees Danny, mopping the same spot. He waves friendly. How are the shoes? He asks with interest. Do they feel good? Perfect, Skylar says honestly, but Mom's worried about who gave them. Danny stops mopping. Sometimes people help, without wanting recognition. But why me? Skylar asks curiously. I'm nobody special. Everyone's special, Danny says firmly. You just need someone to notice. Something in his voice sounds different today, more educated somehow than a janitor. Bell rings loudly. Students flood the hallways. Skylar heads to class, but keeps thinking about Danny's words. In history class, Mr. Thompson discusses the Great Depression, how people helped their neighbors survive. Kindness during hardship, he says, defines true character. Skylar thinks about her mysterious benefactor. Someone saw her pain and acted without reward. After class, Brooklyn approaches her. Want to study together? She asks nicely. For the math test? Really? Skylar sounds surprised. You'd help me? Of course, Brooklyn smiles. We're partners now. They walk to library. Skylar's shoes still silent, but her confidence grows. With each step, you know, Brooklyn says, Tyler's been mean because he's jealous. Of what? Skylar asks confused. I have nothing. You're genuine, Brooklyn explains. Rich kids like us sometimes aren't real. This surprises Skylar. She never thought about Brooklyn's perspective. That afternoon, Skylar stays after school to help Mrs. Rodriguez with bulletin boards. The building is quiet. Most students gone home. Only staff remains. She sees Danny in the supply closet, talking on phone. His voice sounds different, more professional somehow. Yes, the quarterly report. He says quietly. Stock prices are up. Skylar hides behind a nearby corner. Something feels wrong. Janitors don't discuss stock prices normally. The soulmate campaign, Danny continues, is working perfectly. Soulmate, the shoe brand she's wearing right now. Skylar's heart beats faster. Local community engagement, Danny says, shows real results. She backs away, confused and scared. Danny isn't who he claims to be. At home, Skylar paces nervously around their small apartment. Rain starts again against the windows. Mom comes home from her evening shift. She looks exhausted, but tries to smile. How was school? Mom asks, hanging up her coat. Strange. Skylar says honestly, I think Danny isn't really a janitor. What do you mean? Mom sits down on their old couch. Skylar explains about the phone call, the business talk, the soulmate connection. That's concerning, Mom says. Why would someone pretend to be a janitor? I don't know. Skylar feels scared. Should we call the police? Let's think first, Mom says. Maybe there's an explanation. But Mom looks worried. Someone is watching her daughter closely. The next day, Skylar avoids Danny at school completely. She takes different routes between classes. During lunch, she tells Jasmine about her discovery. That's so weird, Jasmine says. Why would someone lie about their job? Maybe he's dangerous, Skylar whispers, or a criminal. But deep down, she doesn't believe Danny would hurt her. His kindness seemed real. In afternoon, Principal Martinez calls an assembly about school safety and stranger awareness. Be careful, he warns, about unknown adults who show interest in your lives. Skylar's stomach drops. Does he know about Danny too? After school, Skylar walks home through Riverside Park. The long way, she sits on a bench by the small pond, watching ducks swim. Mind if I sit? Danny's voice comes from behind. Skylar jumps up, ready to run. Stay away from me. Please, Danny says gently. Let me explain everything. You're not a janitor, Skylar says accusingly. I heard you on the phone. Danny nods slowly. You're right. I'm not. He sits on bench, gives her space to run if needed. My real name is Daniel Patterson. He pauses carefully. I started a company called Soulmate Shoes 3 years ago. Skylar's eyes widen. You own a shoe company? I built it from nothing, Danny continues, after losing my job at a big corporation. Why? Skylar asks confused. Why work as delivery driver? Danny looks at the pond water. My company was small, just me and 2 employees. I delivered product myself to save money. I deliver to schools and businesses, Danny explains, to keep costs low and meet real people. So you've been working honestly. Skylar feels less betrayed. I've been surviving, Danny corrects. Small business is hard. I do every job. He pulls out his phone, shows her pictures of his tiny workshop and online orders, all managed alone. I make shoes. In my garage, Danny scrolls through, package them myself, drive them everywhere. That's not creepy, Skylar says. That's just work. I've been caring, Danny says firmly, about my customers. The sun starts setting behind the trees, making everything golden. When I saw you, that first day, Danny continues, fighting back against bullies. I remembered something. What? Skylar asks. Despite her anger, I was you once. Danny's voice cracks. Poor kid. Broken shoes. Everyone laughing. Flashback 25 years ago. A small boy, maybe 8 years old, walks to school. His shoes are taped together. Other kids point and laugh. "Look at Danny's shoes," they shout. They're held together with duct tape. The boy runs home, crying to his mother, "I hate these shoes. I hate being poor." His mother kneels down. "Someday, son, you'll help other kids who feel exactly like you do." Back to present. "I never forgot that day," Danny says, or my mother's words. Skylar sits back down on the bench, her anger softening. "When I built Soulmate," Danny continues, "I promised myself to never forget where I came from." "But you're rich now," Skylar points out. "You can buy anything you want." "Money doesn't heal old wounds," Danny says sadly. "Success doesn't erase childhood pain." "The shoes you gave me," Skylar says, "they weren't random?" "I saw your pain," Danny admits, "every day, walking those halls, trying to be invisible. So you felt sorry for me?" Skylar's pride flares. "I saw myself," Danny corrects, "and I remembered what one person can do for another." They sit in silence, watching ducks paddle across the pond. "Why tell me now?" Skylar asks. "You could have stayed hidden forever." "Because," Danny says, "you deserve the truth, and I need your help." "My help?" Skylar sounds surprised. "I'm just a kid." "You're the future," Danny says, "of everything I'm building." "I want to start a new program," Danny explains, "called Walking Forward, for kids like us." "What kind of program?" Skylar asks curiously. "Not just shoes," Danny says. "Mentorship, scholarships, real support." "That sounds nice," Skylar says. "But why me?" "Because you understand what it feels like to be ignored." Danny stands up. "I need someone to help me test the program." "You want me to be a test subject?" Skylar frowns. "I want you to be a partner," Danny says. "Help me design something that works." "What about school?" Skylar asks. "And Mom?" "I'll tell Principal Martinez everything tomorrow," Danny promises. "Your mom, too." "She'll be so angry," Skylar worries. "About the lying." "She'll be proud," Danny says, "of your courage and your heart." They walk toward the park entrance. Skylar's shoes still silent, but her mind racing. "One more thing," Danny says. "Tyler Brooks and his bullying." "What about him?" Skylar asks. "He's struggling too," Danny reveals. "His parents are divorcing. He's acting out from pain." "That doesn't excuse being mean," Skylar says. "No," Danny agrees. "But maybe we can help him, too." The next morning, Skylar wakes up early, nervous about the day ahead. Mom made pancakes, their favorite breakfast, for special occasions. "Are you ready?" Mom asks. She took time off work today. "I think so," Skylar says. "But I'm scared." "Of what?" Mom asks gently. "That people won't believe the story," Skylar admits. "It sounds crazy. Truth often does," Mom says, "but it's still truth." They drive to school in Mom's old car, the one with the rattling engine. Principal Martinez waits in his office with Danny, still in uniform. "This is quite a story," the principal says. "Do you have any proof?" Danny pulls out his business cards, corporate identification, and company documents. "I've been working with the district on employment verification," Danny explains. "Everything is legal. The real question," Principal Martinez says, "is what happens now." "We start small," Danny says, "with Skylar's class, maybe 10 kids who need support." "And Tyler Brooks?" the principal asks. Skylar mentioned him. Especially Tyler. Danny says, hurt people, hurt people. Skylar nods. I want to help, but I don't know how to forgive. Forgiveness isn't instant, Danny says. It's a choice you make daily. Mom speaks up. What about the other parents? Will they accept your help? Some will, Danny admits. Some won't. Pride is powerful. That afternoon, Danny addresses Skylar's entire class. In the auditorium, my name is Daniel Patterson. He begins, I'm the CEO of Soulmate Shoes. Students whisper and point. They're confused about the janitor. I've been working here for 3 months, Danny continues, learning about your lives. Tyler Brooks sits in back, looking angry and embarrassed. I was bullied once, Danny says, for wearing broken shoes. The room grows completely quiet. Today we start something new, Danny announces, a program called Walking Forward. It's not about free shoes, Danny explains. It's about supporting each other. Brooklyn Chun raises her hand. What kind of support? Mentorship, tutoring, scholarships, Danny lists, but most importantly, friendship. Jasmine whispers to Skylar, this is amazing. We start with 10 volunteers, Danny says, who want to help their classmates. Several hands go up, including Brooklyn's, and surprisingly, Tyler's. Tyler? Danny calls. You're interested? Tyler stands up. I've been mean to people, he admits. I want to make it right. After the presentation, Skylar approaches Tyler in the hallway. Thank you, she says, for volunteering. I'm sorry, Tyler says, about everything. I was angry about home. I know, Skylar says. Danny told me about your parents. It's hard, Tyler admits, when everything falls apart. But it doesn't have to stay broken. Skylar says they shake hands, a new beginning for both of them. 6 months later, the Walking Forward program has helped 50 kids in 5 schools. Skylar sits in Danny's real office at Soulmate headquarters, reviewing applications. This one's interesting, she says. A kid from Phoenix, Arizona. What's his story? Danny asks, looking up from his computer. Homeless family, living in car, but he maintains straight A's. Send him shoes and a scholarship application. Danny decides education is everything. Mom works there now as the program coordinator. She quit the diner for better pay. I never imagined, Mom says, that squeaky shoes would change our lives. They didn't change us, Skylar corrects. They revealed us. 1 year later, Skylar stands on stage at the National Youth Leadership Conference, wearing her original Soulmate shoes. My shoes used to squeak, she tells the audience. Everyone laughed, including me. The crowd listens, completely silent, but someone heard. More than noise, she continues. He heard a story worth telling. Danny sits in the front row, proud tears in his eyes. Walking Forward has helped 500 kids in 20 states, Skylar announces. The audience applauds loudly and long. But the real success isn't the numbers, Skylar says. It's the friendships, the healing, the hope. She looks at Tyler in the audience, now her best friend and program co-leader. We learned that broken things can be fixed, but more importantly, broken people can heal others. My shoes don't squeak anymore, Skylar concludes, but I hope I never forget the sound they made, because that sound led to this moment and this program and this family we've built together. The crowd gives a standing ovation as Skylar walks off, her steps still silent, but her impact loud and clear. Danny meets her backstage. Your mother would be proud, he says. She is proud, Skylar corrects, and she's right here. Mom hugs them both. From squeaky shoes to this, she marvels. Who would have thought? Someone who listened. Skylar says, to more than noise, to the story underneath. Outside the conference center, the sun sets. Over the city, 3 people walk. In comfortable silence, their shoes make no sound, but their hearts are full of music. And somewhere, in schools across America, other kids walk in new shoes with new hope. The sound of walking has become the sound of healing.